Introduction. Architecture is the art of stillness, shaped by intention. It is the one art form we live inside, the quiet framework that orders our days and measures our silence. Yet, among all its purposes, there lies one that transcends use, the search for the sacred. The sacred is not confined to temples or rituals. It emerges when space touches awareness, when we step into a room and the air itself feels changed. To build for the sacred is to build for revelation, to shape matter so that the invisible can appear. The sacred unfolds in three conditions: beauty, moment, and climax. These are not parts of a structure, but states of perception. Each transforms the way we experience space, guiding us from seeing to understanding, from the physical to the transcendent. Beauty. Beauty is the threshold of the sacred. It does not demand, it invites. In the sacred, beauty is not luxury, it is alignment. It appears in the rhythm between light and weight, in the proportion that feels inevitable, in the quiet balance between stone and sky. To experience beauty is to be reminded that the world still has order, that chaos has not won, that form can carry grace. The sacred architect does not create beauty, they reveal it. Through patience, through attention, they uncover what already exists in light and geometry. Think of a beam of sun filtering through dust in a vaulted nave. The light moves, but the space stands still, a stage for the drama of time itself. In that balance, we recognize something ancient, that beauty speaks the language of truth. The sacred begins when beauty ceases to please and begins to transform, when we stop looking at it and start listening through it. Beauty is not appearance, it is the resonance between intention and form, the quiet harmony that draws the human soul toward recognition. And when architecture achieves that harmony, the sacred becomes possible. Moment. The sacred is never constant. It reveals itself through moments, brief and luminous. Architecture prepares us for them patiently. Corridors narrow, light fades, footsteps echo against stone. We approach not knowing exactly what we're approaching, only that something is gathering. Then the pause. A doorway. A breath held. Inside, time loosens its grip. The air thickens, the light slows, and sound becomes part of the structure. These are the moments when awareness overtakes function, when the mind falls silent and presence becomes complete. The sacred moment is a hinge between worlds. It gathers the past and the future into one living instant. The architect cannot design the moment itself. They can only prepare the stage for its arrival. The sacred exists where attention meets space, where we stop measuring and start perceiving. Every threshold holds this possibility. The light before entering, the shadow just after. Both are edges of revelation. To dwell in the sacred is to recognize these edges and to realize that time, in the right space, can hold eternity. Climax. Every sacred architecture moves toward revelation. The climax is that arrival, not of spectacle, but of inevitability. It begins with tension, narrow paths, compressed ceilings, dim light that draws the eye forward. The body senses the approach long before the mind does. It's an instinct, a rising pulse, a deepening quiet. Then release. Space opens, light floods, the air expands. The structure reveals what it has been preparing all along: a clearing, a center, a still point. In this instant, architecture stops being built and starts being felt. The climax is not the height of volume or decoration, it is the height of awareness. It is the place where meaning crystallizes, where every shadow, every proportion, every step of the journey becomes clear in retrospect. You realize that the sacred was never ahead of you. It was unfolding around you the whole time. This is the revelation, that space is a mirror, and the sacred is the reflection we finally see clearly. The climax does not end the journey, it fulfills it, by returning us to stillness, changed, aware, and awake. Conclusion. Beauty opens the eye. Moment stills the breath. Climax awakens the spirit. Together they form the architecture of revelation, the process by which matter becomes meaning. The sacred is not something we build into walls, it's something those walls reveal within us. When architecture achieves this alignment, when proportion becomes harmony, when silence becomes presence, the sacred appears, quietly, not as spectacle, but as truth. In the end, architecture's greatest power is not to shelter the body,